Alright, everyone, welcome to the first ever edition of Mob Ball, the only game in Minecraft where mobs have to compete for the best. This game is a very simple game, and I will tell you how it works. Number 1, the objective is to kill the other team as many times as possible with the amount of attempts given. There are 4 attempts per quarter. If a team goes down to 2 members, it is a 10-second countdown until that quarter will end, or that attempt will end, as they have 10 seconds to kill the remaining people. If they do not do it within the 10 seconds, the thing will be ended, and whoever has the most people on their team will get that point. We will now begin the game. We are starting with Team Villager versus Team Illager. And already the team is going at it. As you can see, very fierce resistance put up by both sides. An initial wave is being created. The pillagers are pushing to the front. The pillagers are now in their end zone. And the final members are being killed. Team Illager scores. No movement yet. Never mind, a massive wave is appearing once again. Both teams are once again scrambling for the middle of the field. Honestly, already both teams are looking to be very competitive, if it turns out to go ideally. Seems Team Villager's losing a lot of members. Seems to me as if they're doing a lot of friendly fire, which definitely could not be good for the numbers game. Oh, what's this? Another movement? Cancelled. Looks like their southern flank was matched. Moving once again. More Illagers. If they cannot hit a member within the countdown, this attempt will end. Okay, they're running. If they run, they can also cancel the timer. That's another score. Attempt 3. Both sides once again equally matched, running at each other towards the middle of the field. Large movement. It seems as if the Illagers are once again pushing down the field with the small amount of wave left. It looks like this wave might be over, and it is. And still, we have members over here. Alright. Now, they have a few seconds. Okay, they're running. And the Illagers are just coming over here and wiping out the remaining villagers. This is crazy. I mean, seriously, the Illagers so far have been putting up a stunner performance. Even if most of their waves do end up getting killed, you can see that they have the current numbers advantage. Okay, more Illagers are coming around. Will they be able to stop the Illager advance? Likely not. And so another point is on the board for the Illagers. Once again, towards the top of the center, the villagers are giving it their all, and the Illagers not so much. Their wave will dissolve, inevitably, but will definitely do numbers on the villagers. Seeing a lot more deaths. That's the last of that initial wave, but it is not looking good for Team Villager once again. Oh no. A villager has gotten into their side of the field, and he is dead. And another wave over here, small wave, but a wave nonetheless, a group. Moving in. Let's see. Can I do it? Both teams are having issues. Okay, they're gonna have to get this guy or the attempt will end. Ooh. Let's see. That should be enough to get them the score. And that's Team Illager. Okay, both sides, once again, top center. Very little action on the other end of the center part of the field, which is very strange. And count this as a quirk in the AI of the mobs. The Illager advance has once again been stopped. Vindicator's running. A Vindicator is running. Can he land a hit? He cannot. Now this is good. If they keep this up, they could potentially win over on the Illagers. Never mind. The Vindicators, strangely enough, are far more effective than the Villagers are in both of their groups. Likely this means that another point could be on the board for the Illagers. And it is considered. First score of the second quarter, therefore, is meeting at the center, exact center of the field. Let's get into it now. Okay. Lower center. They're now advancing towards their side of the field. Both Illagers and Villagers are dying at similar rates. This could be bad. Who is left on the Illager side? Not a lot, but if they don't get this guy, the attempt will once again end. Alright. Team with largest amount of people has got it. They advance towards, I believe, the top center again. Massive wave this time. The Pillagers are really going in all in to try to push through. Can they do it? Many attempts are being made. It looks like one Illager managed to get in there. Okay, several. They're now in their end zone. But this likely won't last long. As the villagers fight to regain their end zone, another wave could be brewing. Here come the Vindicators now. They're moving in very quickly. The way in which they run poses a very large threat to the villager defense. The Illager offense so far has been on fire, and it's no wonder as to why. The Vindicators are perhaps the MVPs of Team Illager so far. We can't really see any distinguishable similarities in Team Villager, however, which is very strange. Okay, can they get this guy? They can't get him. A timer will begin again. Okay, so that's one more. If the Vindicators can make an advance, that should put an end to the attempt. Okay, the Vindicators are making an advance. 1 down, 2 down. And this looks like this is another score for Team Illager. Final attempt of the second quarter. Halftime will begin after this. Another advance. It looks like just before the center of the field. To the left. Team Villagers a lot more spread out this time. Could potentially be hurting their defense though. Looks like numerous Illagers are getting close. One has made it through, and he immediately died. This one's in peril, and he has died. This so far could be anyone's game. There seems to be an almost equal amount on both sides. This is, I know, very stressful for those who are watching. Another advance, another advance. Villager down. Okay, that Vindicator's been killed. They're moving on to yet another Vindicator, but he seems to be walking away. Moving towards the Vindicator side of the field. Okay, he made an attempt there. Okay, we're gonna give him a couple more seconds. Okay, halftime. We will return after this message. If you're willing to see more videos like this in 2026, go ahead and subscribe. My channel has been producing videos for 9 years, and I'm always constantly trying to improve. If you think what you are seeing is very great, this is a great way of telling me. My hope is to continue improving this year and get potentially upward of 150 subscribers. If you think this content is worthy of 150 subscribers, you may do so. If you don't, that's also fine. Nothing will happen either way. I hope you enjoy the video. Welcome back to the game. We are now in the third quarter, attempt number 1. Another advance seems to already be countered by the Villager defense. Perhaps not for long. Very quickly, the numbers have changed. This could be a very quick attempt if this is continued. However, there's only one Illager left, and if they do not hit him, this attempt will automatically go to them anyway. And that is now 6-3. Attempt number 2. Okay, numerous things to see here. You see them running on the bottom. You see an advance towards the center. Over here, people are moving towards the bottom once again. These villagers are being attacked. The villagers up top are getting attacked. They're trying to go through the flank, but they seem to be getting showered in arrows. And a Vindicator has died before he can make yet another kill. Once again, both sides seem to be equally matched. However, it seems perhaps the villagers have number advantage. One thing is clear. An attempt will be made. Advance. They are now cutting through the line. They seem to be cutting through the line that the villagers have set up. They are cutting down several villagers, but they are also being cut down in themselves. And the villagers have stopped it. It's getting down. It should be a villager victory. So that's another point. Step number 3. Once again, meeting in the middle. Ooh, a massive advance towards the bottom. They're now fighting on 2 different sides. They're now trying to go up and around. Can they pull it off? Likely not, and that seems to be the last of that offense. Now the villagers are trying to complete an offensive move. That one-on-one resulted in both parties dying. Can they hit at least one more Illager? Oh yes, right up there on top. Up towards the middle. Lone Vindicator. And he has died. And more are coming in. This is the rest of the Vindicators. They can get enough kills, they can even out and perhaps get another point. But it does not look like that will be happening. One more Illager. And it seems that this will now be another point for the villagers. Final attempt of the 3rd quarter. Villagers seem to be staying back for the moment. They're now approaching the Illager offense once again. Wiping out most of the pillagers, it seems. The pillagers seem to be the underperforming part of the Team Illager group. It's unclear as to why. They are very coordinated, much more so than Team Villager is. However, they are still being easily picked apart. And here comes yet another offensive move by the Vindicators. Being showered in arrows once again. Down towards here, down towards the bottom advance. Villagers are once again defeating a Vindicator. Several more remain. This looks very formidable. I don't believe they'll be able to take this on. This is a Illager point. Begin the fourth quarter after this. This quarter at this point is still anyone's game. This could be decided by a single point. Potentials even for a tie. It'll likely depend on this, and a single Illager is crossed into their end zone. And he is now gone. Now nobody seems to be doing a lot of moving. What was this? What's this? Up at the top? 1-on-1. Who will be the winner of this one? 1-on-1. The Villager will, and it seems more Vindicators are walking down, making an advance towards the bottom, hitting the Enderman side. Now charging towards the middle, and making their way through the entirety of the remaining villagers. And they have both died before they could complete their goals. There still now remains a disparity in numbers. There are 3 villagers and 4 Illagers. If they stall for time, they will lose this point. This could result in a countdown. If a countdown begins, they will lose this point. It seems to be the likely outcome here. Not enough Vindicators being killed to warrant this being a worthy attempt. Must have got that last one. Alright, central advance. Maybe towards the lower region. This one will be falling apart once again. The offensive mechanic of the pillagers does not seem to match up with their effectiveness. However, the villagers do seem to be holding their own at the moment. They could easily come out with a tie, or they could come out with another point for themselves and then win the game. This is still anyone's game at this point. The winner will have to hold out through these next few attempts. It seems that they are once again stalling. could be a major issue if it is not resolved. And this could be another ruined attempt. Okay, they are running, they are running. The Vindicator is attempting to break through, but likely won't, and therefore one is left on the field. They have a few seconds to kill him, or the attempt will automatically go to them. Okay, and it looked like it went to them. So, it is now a tie. They could complete this in the next 2 attempts if they needed to. Another advance towards the bottom. Very interesting. They're cutting around. And they have once again crossed into the end zone. And they're hunting down a single villager towards the corner there. Up towards the center, you can see that the advance is once again falling apart. Not much else. And now they are all focused on these pillagers and vindicators. Now remains, it seems to be a dwindling number of indicators. They seem to just disappear. I believe that's just due to the render distance. But they do seem to be getting killed. We'll see if anything comes out of this. It seems another Illager was just killed there. Eight to 7 in this attempt. Final attempt of the game. Towards the bottom. Large meeting of both teams. Right now, Team Villager's only hope will be to create a tie. Otherwise, they will lose the game. Once again, the advance has fallen flat. Now, this looks very advantageous to Team Villager. Though if the Vindicators show up, they will likely start whittling down their numbers. This is never good. Seems more villagers are being attacked. Here comes what seems to be some sort of small wave, and they are moving towards the center, and numerous Vindicators are wiping out the remaining villagers. If they can do this, then it is over for Team Villager, and it seems that is what will happen. Final score is 9 to 7. Thank you for watching this game with us. Hope you enjoyed the first ever edition of Mob Ball, and hope you will join us in another edition very soon.